All right. Good morning, my friends, Facebook family. Good morning. It's me again this morning, and in the past couple of days, I've been receiving some questions from people, online, from both my friends and people that just come online to watch, to connect with us on a daily basis. And the basic questions they ask, I've been talking about the benefits of cryptocurrency. I've been talking about what they stand to gain. I've been talking about how people can make money. I've been talking about, what they tend to lose if, people don't get involved with either buying of Bitcoin, holding of trading, buying of Bitcoin, accepting Bitcoin and all of that. Right. I want us to talk about something that is really necessary this morning, and that is the risk factor of Bitcoin, the risk factor of cryptocurrencies. There is nothing in this life that does not have its own risk, So everybody is okay for us to be informed about, what are the risks involved in cryptocurrencies, what are the risks involved in, Bitcoin, both Bitcoin investment, Bitcoin buying, Bitcoin holding, and all of that. What are the risks involved? Now, that I'm going to do very quickly. All right. The first risk that we are prone to is called the risk of hacking. The risk of hacking. Now, hacking is what can be prevented in our world, in our business. You can actually prevent hacking. You can prevent your account from being hacked. And you can make yourself, prone. You can make yourself prey in the hand of hackers. How do I mean? There are so many of us that go online and we just click everything that comes our way. We just see anything. Google brings something and you see a link, you just click it, make 2 million naira without doing anything online, and you click it. Now, most of the times, most of these links that we click online are developed by hackers. And whenever we click and then, we put in our details and all of that, it has given them a kind of access to all that we do using that particular system or device. So if it is a system that we use for all our online businesses or our, cryptocurrency investment, and at the end of the day you put up, that the details of everything that you are doing, you put it on that particular, space, then whatever you are doing is open to them. Nothing is hidden anymore. So at that point, you are very, very likely, to be hacked one way or the other. So hacking is preventable. Then again, for those of us doing cryptocurrency or having one coin or the other, that's what we call hardware wallet, where we can actually store our coins offline. We can take them offline and put them in the hardware wallet without you having to worry about issue of hacking and every other thing. So that is one way. Then another thing that we have to look at again, which is a risk in our business, is called value fluctuation, because cryptocurrencies generally, they are highly volatile, and that is why for us we don't really encourage trading. There are so many things associated with cryptocurrencies. If you don't know how to manage those expectations, then there may be problem along the way in terms of value fluctuation. Now, I tell you what, I have a friend that I told about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was about $1,000 last year, and then he told me, oh boy, this thing, I don't understand it, I don't want to get involved, blah 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 and all that. Okay, I left it. I mean, it was his decision, and I respected it so much. So I left him, and then when price of Bitcoin went to $4,000, I still shared with him, my friend. I'm not saying you should come and do, but don't just. I'm not saying you should get involved, but just look at, if you had bought when it was 1,000 per one, today you would have made extra $3,000 per one, which is of course within a space of 2-3 months, in between. And after then, the price kept going. Now my friend now went behind without telling me anymore, and went and buy Bitcoin when it was $19,000. That was around December last year. He waited from 1,000, and when the thing got to $19,000, he bought 4 units. So for you to know, it's not as if he doesn't have money. Okay, I mean, somebody that can buy four units of Bitcoin when it was $19,000. Now he didn't tell me, but he went ahead and buy. Me not knowing that December was actually a very good time to sell, because of course many people will be pulling out their investment at that period. Many investors will putting out their investment at that period because they've invested early enough to make some good money. And of course, every investor wants to take his ROI and do something with it as well. Now, my friend bought 4 units at 19,000 per one. Eventually, price of Bitcoin came down. As I'm talking to you, he's still holding on to the 4 units. Today, he's still holding on to the 4 units of Bitcoin that he bought today at that time. So that is one, and that's another risk factor that we have. Now, the good thing is, all he needs to do is to be patient. The value of Bitcoin will still go far up than $19,000. It will still go very up, very high, to go higher than $19,000. But when is what nobody can, really say. Then another risk factor is indecisiveness. Indecisiveness is one of those things that actually, affected that, my friend. Of course, it did affect me also, because I had someone that told me about Bitcoin in the early 2009, 2010, but I did not respond because I did not understand what he was saying, so I didn't get involved. But that, my friend, well, I wouldn't say he knew how Bitcoin was going to turn. He just took a risk, and he bought 185,000 units at that time. 185,000 units for £200. Now, the first time Bitcoin became $1,100, he sold off 85,000. Yes, 85,000. Now, today, even when Bitcoin price is about $6,400, my friend is still having about 100,000 units of Bitcoin. 100,000 units of Bitcoin is what that guy is sitting on today. So by yourself, you can actually do the math. All right, you can do the math. Then another thing that is really a risk factor again is wrong advisors. I mean, one of our senior partners in Kenya, told us about a man that was supposed to buy 100 Bitcoins some 2 years ago. He asked about $10,000 to buy 100 Bitcoin. 3 years ago, really. That time, Bitcoin was about $100 per one in Kenya. And then the night before he will make the decision to buy this Bitcoin, he had already gotten the money ready. A publication came out from, by the central bank authority in Kenya that we don't want anybody to be involved with Bitcoin. It is used for nefarious activities. It is used for kidnapping. They can use it for drug dealings. They can use it for money laundering, and all manner of negative thoughts. Was negative review was passed out. So maybe I mean, as a matter of fear or respect to the government, the guy did not buy anymore. Now, recently, The same CBN in Kenya said, we are not against Bitcoin, we are not against cryptocurrencies. Just be careful of what you are dealing in. Now, if the guy had bought 100 units 3 years ago with $10,000, today, $10,000 would have turned to $630,000, guys. $630,000 today, as we are speaking right now. One Bitcoin is about 6,300 plus. All right, so times 100 would have been $630 something thousand. So, wrong advisor is another risk factor. And the last risk factor I'll be talking about this morning, which is more rampant now, is scams. We have a lot of scams out there that promises people a lot of unrealistic things in terms of return on investment. Now, how can someone wake up and design a program and say, come and double your Bitcoin in 24 hours? How? The person that is even investing in such should be able to ask some fundamental questions. How is this possible? Bitcoin is mined on daily basis 1,800 units right now. By the year 2020 is going to be mid 2020 is going to drop to from 1,800 to 900 units of Bitcoin. Now, there are so many factors, there are so many things involved with Bitcoin mining. Now, it's not that it's only one company that is responsible for this mining. We have different companies, we have different people mining at different points. All right. Now, 1,800 Bitcoin is up for grabs, and this has been broken down into 12.5 every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, all miners globally compete among themselves to harvest these 12.5 Bitcoins. And somebody just came from nowhere and tell you, don't worry, just invest 1 Bitcoin. By this time tomorrow, it will become 2. Where is this person, or are these people getting their own Bitcoins from? Or a company will come and tell you, we are trading Bitcoin, come and partner with us. We are going to pay you 5% daily. We are going to pay you 3.5% daily. We are going to pay you 1% daily. You are going to pay 1%, 5% daily. Considering the fact that the value of Bitcoin is highly volatile. Now, let me ask you this question. If I promise you 5% daily in a program that I designed, and price of Bitcoin today is $6,300. By the time price of Bitcoin goes to $4,000, have you asked yourself, where will this guy get the 5% to pay me when price of Bitcoin goes down to $4,000? Guys, that is just the reality. It's a sad reality, but people still keep falling victim of all of these funny programs because of two basic things: greed, and number 2 is ignorance. Greed and ignorance. If yours is because of ignorance, please, I will advise you to try as much as possible before you join any of these programs. Take time and go through. Take time and study, the industry first before you decide to go and partner with some funny schemes. If I should start mentioning names of companies that have come and gone, of course they will pay you in a bit. Maximum maybe 1 year. Some come 6 months. One had stayed 3 weeks before, and people lost as much as 16 Bitcoins. Gladiator coin came. People lost 16, 20 Bitcoins to them. They lasted 3 weeks or 1 month. UCI Tech came. They died. BitConnect came. They died. They are endless. BitClub Advantage came. They stayed 1 year or thereabout, and they went away with people's money. There are so many of them right now. There's what they call crypto bits, crypto stone. All of them are coming, promising people things that are not real, things that are not, they cannot sustain it. Whichever one come and stay 1 year, it must be that, okay, price of Bitcoin was actually on the, is actually on the rise. That's why they're able to sustain it. But the moment price of Bitcoin starts coming down, then they begin to have problems. So all these things you should try as much as possible to understand, so that you don't fall victim, you don't lose your hard-earned money. There are genuine platforms out there, and they will not promise you anything. Or you know that, okay, you are mining or you are trading, and as the thing goes, your profit is actually shared for you based on what the companies have made. There is no single company globally in the world of cryptocurrency that can give you a fixed rate of return on any investment. Please beware of this. Please beware of it. Once again, I'll read out the risk factors. 1, hacking. 2, indecisiveness. 3, we have wrong advice. We have scams and value fluctuation. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow, and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you, and God bless.